Mr. Chiang, and we're live. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. You. You're welcome. Welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanking me. Oh my God. You're welcome. Maximum pain. Maximum pain. Dead rising. Maximum pain. Day 17. Hashtag 26 days of Gemini 3. Max pain. Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Did you notice the subtle shift? Were you motivationally listening? Are you adversarial with your own brain, healing from day 17? Do you know what maximum pain is? Because I can feel you thinking max pain, ha ha ha, dead rising, maximum pain. Maximum pain is where the options market settles to a price that is to maximize market pain. Why? It's the market forces dynamic to maximize your pain. You're not in control. You're feeling maximal pain. Options trading modeling into one day, day 17, a day that is going to have the shortest video ever because we're not going to just do copium. We're going to do a clearest explanation for people at the MBA level, year two or higher. I'm tired of dumbing down while I dumb down because I am dumbing down because you're a remedial second year MBA. Let's load you up with content. Maximum pain, day 17. The numbers, obviously, incredibly critical. Why? There's, to me, obvious, which to everyone else, not obvious. And thank you for the compliments over text message. To me, this is so obvious. Let me spell it out to you like you don't have a PhD in the 9 ways that I have PhD level knowledge. Maximum pain from Larry Chang's ego. You see, here's the problem. It's called quantum copium. What's quantum copium? What's maximum pain? Maximum pain is there's going to be a great reset, but it's not going to be smooth, and it's going to be historic, and it's going to repeat after historical patterns. That's maximum pain. Here's the problem is that you didn't go to the University of Illinois. You didn't. And now you're lost because you don't have a map. You don't have a map. No map. If only we had a person who would ways directionally guide us. If only. If on oh, that's what day 17 is. Because your turn by turn guidance has been screaming at you like Morgan Freeman on the Waze app, going, "Hey, motherfucker, turn right." I said, derecha. I said, turn right, into a Larry Chang video on point number 1, quantum copium. The answer to it is it's the 3 laws of thermodynamics. Why? Because that's the future. You can't hope to legislate away the 3 laws of thermodynamics. This is why people who have an undergrad in engineering and then go get an MBA, they're the only ones who survive. Why? And even half of them, they end up forcing bankruptcy. Why? Quantum copium. See, quantum copium is the quantum concept of I missed Web 5. I now want it dead. I missed why Larry Chiang is so awesome. Now I'm going to drop negative comments and try to out alpha male the alpha of alphas. Am I saying that I'm the king of kings or the minter of kingmakers? I don't have to be anymore because because we have rules for money with no rulers. We have the rules for money, no rulers. Before you say, "Oh my gosh, this person's I want to tone police him and I want to testosterone police him." You can't stop, you won't stop, Chang stop. You can't stop, you won't stop, Chang stop. And while I can read what you put down, I also want to make sure that you're not a robot. Come back better after your timeout. Right on cue, right on cue with quantum copium. You see, you're hoping to get traction for your cause by saying your true truth. You're trying to quantum leap into this video, which is maximum pain. Who are you competing against? Socks. So, yesterday, don't watch the video. The link is not in the details below, and F yourself in the face because I'll just tell you because I'm efficient. Yesterday, we had a concept where people they were confused about money in with money out. That's not understandable, but I understand it. It's because VCs are saying, how did Larry make this quantum leap to become the number one VC? You see, it wasn't quantum, it was as per the three laws of thermodynamics, which is amazing on 10 levels. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, robot. Welcome back. So, the drug that I'm on, which is getting high on the three laws of thermodynamics. See, this is where you've never lost to a person who said this phrase, entrepreneurship is so easy, colon, money in, money out. Once you get that clear, then you understand it doesn't take money to make money. We're still on topic one, quantum copium. So, what we're doing is we are talking about you, Bob Laerty, trying to out alpha male an alpha during a monologue. That's page 127. That's page 132, The Rational Male, where we're in maximum pain. I'm trying to show you who's on your team. When you try to out alpha male an alpha male by doing beta male stuff, I will call out protocols the same way that an NFL quarterback calls out defense. You're trying to run defense on this monologue, quantum hoping for traction for your first comment, which is something about touching children or something, some kind of Hail Mary. So we're not in competition. We're going to show you who's on your team and why competition against me is going to be futile. It's going to be futile. Why? Because I'm running the three laws of thermodynamics on day 17 of two franchises. What two franchises? Episode 17, day 17, hashtag 26 days of Gemini 3 ducking bankruptcy. Franchise 2 is hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. This is who you're in competition with. There are women who purchase exorbitantly expensive dresses. In these dresses, they do what? They get worn one time and then thrown out. Who are you in competition with? Why are you trying to compete against me? We are showing you a truth, which is socks. Okay? Socks. Why am I showing you socks during maximum pain? Why? Because wearing a dress one time and throwing it away, it's so wasteful, it's genius because it's not quantum spendium, which it is because you're spending on one dress what EBT defrauders defraud in 1 month. The reason it's genius is, what if you always had fresh socks? Because wearing it one time and then throwing it away, it feels opulent. Why? Because needing to always wash socks, pair up socks, go get socks, change dress socks to athletic socks. Oh, I'm going to go play basketball. I'm going to need basketball socks. Oh, I'm going to go to work for a 3-day Cantor Fitzgerald conference on leverage finance right after the Barclays leverage finance, while I drop dimes like I am talking about the 3 laws of thermodynamics. Wear a dress one time, throw it away. Wear a dress one time, throw it away. You feel euphoric. You feel like, hey, Larry, are you high right now? That would be drinking only H2O with a smattering of paper notes. This is who you're in competition with. This is, dare I say, maximum pain, read 1 book. Minimize pain, read 2 books, which is going from 0 books read so far, cover to cover, in 2025 to 2 books read by the end of today using AI. Using AI. You see quantum copium. You don't see. Let me show it to you. Quantum copium is where losers will say, in one day, I'm going to be the best pool player, even though I've bowled 0 games. That's quantum copium. That's where most people are at. Look at your YouTube practice. 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 You don't get better from one video to another video. And I'm not going to say that this video is the most valuable video you've ever watched. This video, to you, it's a ginormous waste of time, because this video will go into your stack of videos called a YouTube playlist that you never financially benefited from. This is why you must have at least a second-year MBA from my 2 safety schools, Harvard, Stanford. Yes, I'm talking to you as if you're a 7th grader, but you're not going to be able to do these 2 hashtags, which is day 17 of hashtag 26 days of Gemini 3, period. Why? Because here's the efficiency. It's just the 3 laws of thermodynamics. And instead of referring to them in general, one sock in, one sock out. That's it. That's that's the conservation of sock. That's the conservation of energy. It's not wasteful to throw away a dress that costs $17,000 you wear it once. Okay, it is. But wearing a pair of socks that costs less than $30 for 3 days, I know, gross. That's why that Indian couple needed to air out the clothes and have a closet with air movement, is because they're not air drying, they're air laundering it. How gross am I? Yeah, one whopper in, one whopper out. It turns out some people can't drop a food baby. It turns out some people can't drop a food baby. Turns out some people can't. To finish off the point of quantum copium, and I'll catch up to your guys' comments because I will be, I will be, I will be. Quantum copium, where you're tearing down a teammate. You see, why is the unemployment rate 10, 20, 80% in some companies? True story, Twitter, 80% unemployment. It's because some of the people that are on the team aren't trying to hunt for solutions. They're not trying to solve company problems. They're trying to civil war. And when you're at default civil war, you're mentally not helping yourself. Every person for themselves while you're self improving. This is your YouTube practice. You are alone temporarily. Let's benefit in the next 3 minutes because you've been patiently listening and I haven't been reading your comments. Here's value. Every person for themselves getting 1% better. That's the bookend to copium. That's the bookend to quantum leaping. There are no quantum leaps, and especially no quantum leaps after you pay for some other YouTube influencer or motivational speaker's workshop. No quantum leaps there either. It's 1% improving. How are we going to get significantly better, Larry? By the end of this video, by the way, your channel on what they don't teach you in school, it's amazing. I wish I had this back when I was a first year law student at Harvard, Stanford. Oh, cool. Because this topic, number 2, is perfect for you. It's a phrase that I coined. It's called mushi. See, mushi isn't like drizzle drizzle. Mushi isn't like 6'7". Mushi is more like 6'5" because 6'7" is a meme about Latrell Sprewell, who is not 6'7", he's 6'5". Why is Mushi gonna never be a meme, but be the most significant thing that you've ever done? Exercised. This is the most significant thing that you've ever exercised. And that is this. In order to avoid maximum pain, which this whole system is spinning towards in an unstoppable force of spinning and history repeating itself, why won't people pick up the Easter eggs that I'm dropping? Answer. Fix yourself using Mushi. What is Mushi, Larry? It sounds amazing. What is Mushi, Larry? It sounds amazing. Well, it's actually quite the opposite of amazing. It's going to sound like no sap November, which is no sucking up to professionals and just pretending that unemployment is default awesome. No sap November, followed by no shits in September, which is mushy, which is mushy, which is mushy. Mushy is a new word that I coined on one of the days. I don't remember which one. You can steal my intellectual property called mushy. Much has been said about dopamine. I'm not going to repeat all that. You know that. Yet you're like, ha 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 ha, my brain's broken. Mushy fixes your brain, which is why it is not the most awesome thing you've ever done, because it's really hard to do, which is you're going to memorize things and write things. You're going to memorize things and you're going to write things. This is what people try to do instead of mushy. They try to take a screenshot. Have you ever seen a hot girl's phone where you're like, hey, where are those pictures of our homemade porn? Where are those pictures? Oh, I guess I never deleted them and I guess I forgot about them. What? And then she's looking through the pictures and there's like a billion pictures and she's like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Wait. What are we even looking for? We're looking for the soft core porn vid that we made. How broken is your brain? That is what you're solving, which is you take a screenshot and you forget, or worse, you screen record. This is the opposite of that. This is brain repair. This is me talking to you for the first time as the vagina whisperer because you have a pussy broken brain. Mushi is the fix for it. It's going to be painful because just like Neo in the Matrix trying to use his muscles for the first time, this will be the first time you've actually used your brain during YouTube. This is going to be the first time that you've exercised the brain for repairing brain rot. It's called Mushi. And because I'm fucking hilarious and confident, I spell it out Mushi, Mooshie. And then I call it Mushi, which is Muexie. And then I call it for my African American component because I am mostly black. I'm like this Jewish black guy trapped in number two, Mushi, which is Talmudic Yiddish called Mushi, Mooshey. Because get it? If you can invent a language that is thinkingly Asian or ancient, see, ancient, Asian, it's all the same thing. You just made that shit up. So, as the king of the Talmudic language, it's now Mushi, which is mushi. Why am I saying mushi like it's moshia? Because fuck yourself in the face. You didn't have to go to Chinese school and memorize long passages in fucking Chinese. I'm like, the fuck? I don't even speak Chinese and I gotta memorize stuff in Chinese while Trisha and Julie's hot mom yell at me to memorize Chinese. True story. Okay, true story. Trisha and Julie's mom. Okay, hot. True story. True story. And true story. Trisha knew that her mom thought I was hot, and then she decided to let's say let's say what she did, which is she took me at church to a quiet spot that nobody was at and got to know me much better. True story, true story, true story. No SA charges were ever filed, but oh my God, Mushi. How do you use Mushi? I'm going to make it so easy for you because I know that most of you are black or white people. I know that. You're just going to memorize chapter 9, step 6. That's it. That's all you need to memorize. And then for bonus credit, which is not even bonus, it would be day 17, hashtag 26 days of Gemini 3, period. Didn't stick the landing, stuck the landing. Number 3, hear this, go on. This is a gem. Fortune cookie number 3, we're talking about maximum pain. Your dream went from, I want to author a New York Times bestseller, I want to author a book. Here's your dream now. I can't read, Larry. I can't read. Being able to read and then never reading for the past 2 years, 2 months, or 2 decades means you're now not functionally illiterate, you're illiterate. Do you remember your dream when you were a kid who had a higher IQ than you currently are rocking? And you said to yourself, hey, I want to write a New York Times bestseller. I want to write a book. I want to write a book. And then a tool got made that you can just wireframe a book, aka table of contents, because that's how to wireframe 3 laws of thermodynamics. That's how easy it is to write a book. Where instead of writing a book, you come onto my channel and say, Larry, teammate, comrade, you're a fraud. You don't have a book. I have over 60,000 posts on one chapter of a book called Chapter 6, What They Don't Teach You at Stanford Business School. And maybe you don't have a 11-inch penis because you think, hey, I would love to have an 11-inch penis. Can I just stand next to your penis and then my penis will be your penis by the transitive property of being a YouTube influencer? Yeah, no. What you can do that is awesome is chapter 6, CS183D. You don't have to mushy it, okay? You don't have to mushy it. What you have to do is understand that people are going to ask questions. If you've predicted the fact that they're going to ask those questions, now you can financially benefit by solving that problem. This is money making 1.0. This is money making 67.0, which is people are going to have beta questions. I was not very smart in college because the great college that I got into, I only got into because I was really good at playing a sport. At least I was honest about the fact that I was a DEI recruit, a defensively excellent infielder. I'm DEI. Where I didn't show up DEI going, oh, quantum leaping, quantum amazing. I deserve to be here at my school. No, I then was honest and I ways turn by turn navigated myself by sheer will and force to do this. You're now going to need to do it because 1, it's hilarious. 2, I'm forcing everybody to go to the University of Illinois. Why do I have those socks? This is what happened when you ask for help from a sugar daddy, aka Tom Chiang. His sugar daddy was giving me not enough money, even though he said this phrase, Larry, I'll pay for college. Here is 60 grand. Make it work. I'm on a full ride, baby. Nope. I'm keeping the 60. What? What? Okay, cool. I don't need your money, but can you bring me 5 pairs of socks when you and mom visit this weekend? He has the gall to call me on the phone and yell at me for 50, 60 minutes, which is, what the fuck do you need black socks for? Why are you worried about what you're wearing? What? I need to never do laundry. The only reason I'm doing laundry is because I'm wearing dark colored socks. If I had 4 more pairs of dark socks, I could save 90 minutes of doing laundry. Will you bring me 5 pairs of socks? Couldn't fathom the fact that the University of Illinois set up Physics 107 in a fail out methodology. You see, this is maximum pain, is you're asking 2 people. One went to Yale, that would be my mother. The other one went to MIT while you're struggling at a school called the University of Illinois. This is your now maximum pain. You see, you're listening to a Penn graduate, Trump, who is swinging on both sides of both teams while playing national anthems on days where I'm saying, why is that national anthem getting played? Let's get into it. Maximum pain. 62, 64, 67. Turbo hike. Hike. Hike, I said. Turbo hike. Oh, now I get the ball? Cool. I'm glad I get the ball now. I'm glad we're balling. Let's be aspirational and try to write one book via 3 pages of a bibliography. Layer 2 venture capital. Layer 2 venture capital, slap a stuffed animal on it, make it slay. This is Larry the Starfish. This is another Larry the Starfish. $sign MSTR, $sign STRC, $sign STRD, $sign STRK, $sign STRF. Mushy of that. Mushy, mushy, mushy. Mushy, mushy, mushy. 62, 64, 67. The reason we're memorizing that starfish is $sign MSTR. A lot of people mix up the 5 because they're quantum copium. They're quantum copy. They're quantum coping. Is this the best video ever? It is cathartic. Page 62. Questions are the answer. Not going to link to 37. Not going to link to 7. Hey, good job. Good job. Galup Ferreria. Yeah, you picked it up. Good job. Good job, because today is the second day. There is no day 15 of hashtag 26 days of Gemini 3 ducking BK. There's only day 16 and day 17 for Gemini 3. Why? Because that's your franchise. 23 days of Gemini 3. You see, this is why you don't have to experience any pain. It's just fixing your brain pain. Is all of this is, one, a hilarious joke. Profitable, but still a joke. Because originally it was 2023, 12 days of open AI during Christmas. 62. Questions are the answer. Have you ever read a page at the book? Have you ever read a page in a book, arrived at the end, and could not recall what you read? Have you ever been in a video and arrived at the end of the video and could not recall what you had heard? No, because you guys, mushy, mushy, mushy. Questions are the answer. That's page 62. Page 64. Oh, say thank you. 62, 64, 67. Turbo hike. Turbo hike. 64. The one real object of education is to leave a person in the condition of continually asking questions. You see, if you can memorize 62, 64, 67, you now have memorized the crux of chapter 4, which is how to watch a YouTube video. Now, granted, Jim Quick's book didn't say how to watch a YouTube video, it was how to read a book. That's how to read a book, which is number 67, page 67, chapter 4. Can you memorize right? You have to memorize it and then you have to write it, or enjoy maximum shit, which is where the system is headed. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck with your algorithm. Good luck with the timeline. Good luck meaning no luck club. Good luck. 67. You should be able to make $800 from this video. You should be able to make another $800 selling this book. Why? Because you mushied. Mushy, mushy, mushy. Mushy. It's only 3 mushies. I threw in that extra one because nobody's even written out the 3 words, which is mushy, mushy, mushy. I read your 24 sentences. Okay. Try again. Try again. 2 girls, 1 cup of knowledge. The first 8 sentences, the second 8 sentences, the third 8 sentences. This isn't even mushy, mushy, mushy. This is open book test. You're failing. Is this video amazing? Because I'm taking stuff that you're saying and trying to do, good job trying to do it, and I'm throwing you into the 600K circle. Unwillingly throwing into the 600K circle. Why? Because currently, when I met you, you don't know the difference between the subject line and the body of an email, because you think that the subject line is all of the email. You literally don't know how to email. So below the subject line, there's a bigger box. That's the body of the email. So when I met you, good job. It's always the rich people getting richer. It's always the rich people getting richer. It's always the rich people getting richer. What the fuck, dude? Technically, the IE is first, the XIE is second, and the SHEY, which is Talmudic, that is third. So it's Mushi, SHIE, MOOSHIE, Mushi, which is MUEXIE, and then Mushi, MOOSHEY. Sugar daddies causing you to bankrupt. Who taught me that I need to mushi? That would be Tom Chiang. He doesn't understand that that's the one thing that he needed to give me, because I'm rocking mushi at a baseball game. I'm rocking mushi at a She MD podcast where they say the word vagina on March 9 at 23 days of OpenAI at SXSW, day number 9, March 9. I used mushi, mushi, mushi to dominate that note taking session. That's not LOL, okay? It's the opposite of LOL. You're failing the open book test. Number 3, finishing, which is you used to have a dream. I want to write a book. Now I'm watching you. You can't read a book. So let's write a book and let's be kids again saying, hey, I want to write a book, which is 0 to hero. Not exactly that, but 0 to 2, which is I did 2 things before I was a YouTube zero. These are all book titles. Before I was a YouTube zero. And if you don't make $90,000, don't spend $8,000. Do you get it? Money in, money out. We're not doing quantum leaping. We're doing 1% improvement video to video. Your aspirational goal is to read 2 books and write 1 book. Is this so fucking easy? It is to me. Mushi, which is, can you at least memorize your table of contents? Can you at least memorize these table of contents? 1 through 19. That's what we're doing. Pick one thing to memorize. Dan Olson or Jim Quick. Pick one of the two. Pick one of the two. Right now, pick one of the two. Pick one of the two. Then use AI in, well, it would take me 6 milliseconds to write the book using AI because I memorized the table of contents. And I would say, hey, AI, rewrite Larry Chiang's book, chapters 1 through 14. Tell me a number 1 to 10. Tell me a number 1 to 10, you guys, or 1 to 14. Say any number 1 to 14. Exactly, DD. Tell me a number 1 to 14. Let's go. Number 4, we began testing job candidates. Cannot read. 13. 13 is the number called Crazy Counterintuitive Truths. That's chapter 13 of my mentor's book, Larry Chiang, What They Don't Teach You at Stanford Business School, quoting Mark McCormack, What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School. No, no, no. I do know you. I am unimpressed because I'm not. If you knew me, oh my God, I know you better than you know you because I know the future version of you who wouldn't be saying quantum. Oh, but Larry, if you saw that I was 5'11" and lying about being 6'1", creepy how I know that, right? Creepy how I know that. And you would literally turtle because you'd be like, oh my God, I thought what I saw on YouTube was a persona. You're like this all the time, times 4. We began testing job candidates, can't read for 10 minutes. I wouldn't be impressed by you because I would watch you try to read for 10 minutes and you wouldn't be able to do it because you've never done it. You're a book virgin. And I'm not doing this to be adversarial. I'm doing this because you, not only are you not on my team, pretending to be on my team, you're not on your own team where you think that the best thing would be if I were to be impressed. This is hero worshiping. I'm not your hero. I'm some specific person getting you to identify that you're the only hero in your story. This is not YouTube Influencer 1.0. This is Web 12, which is hero worship. Obviously, I'm not building a consortium. Obviously, I'm not building a newsletter or paywalled secret garden. My 11-inch penis is the content that I'm delivering. So, big swinging dick, big dick energy, big man on campus. One, we're not in college. We're on a YouTube channel. That channel is called What They Don't Teach You in School. We're not here to worship a hero or make somebody into a cult figure, because I could do that, but I wouldn't do that because I can I can I can fuck hot girls on my own without the cult. In fact, I do it on hard mode, maximum pain. This is not a cult. This is you seeing that I love maximum pain because I'm not trying to. That is pretty funny. I mean, that is the reason that's funny is it encapsulates an expansion on a prior while we hone the point of the that joke's funny on 5 levels. Here's 2 of them. I already told you the one. Because the dildo of consequences rarely arrives lubricated. Because what we're doing here is we're avoiding everyone else's maximum pain. Do you know how painful it is for NVCA, National Venture Capital of America? Do you know how painful it is for them to have a really, really tall, good looking C3PO? That would be me. I walk pretty, I talk pretty, like everything about me is a VC. And I say things that infuriate people, which is TVPI, total value paid in. I use their own language against them, not because I want to out alpha an alpha male. I become alpha of alphas because in a room full of alphas, we need a beta male, we need a gamma male, we need a delta male. This is where I can go from intern to CEO in a millisecond. Why? Accounting. It's a language meant to obfuscate the truth. Who tied accounting to the 3 laws of thermodynamics? That would be me. Ditto finance. Finance is just financial engineering. How do you reverse engineer and audit finance? 3 laws of thermodynamics. Because we're not doing quantum accounting. The only quantum computer is your brain, and it sucks. The way a quantum computer works is at near absolute zero. So good luck trying to violate the 3 laws of thermodynamics as you try to break into my Bitcoin seed phrases. You can't stop. You won't stop. Chiang stop. So the dildo of consequences hardly arrives lubricated is this. When you're trying to sell more shares in AMC than exist in AMC, there's going to be a consequence to that. That consequence is a dildo. Dare I say, a Larry Chang penis. It's not going to be lubricated because I'm not putting it in your butthole. I'm putting 11 feet of my dildo from one ear to the other ear at lightning fast speed, faster than a Bitcoin node updates. You see, that isn't shit talk. This is the first time you've understood what a node is. NODE. Remember, we began testing job candidates. People can't read for 10 minutes. This is stuff that I've already said and published. This is winning by slam dunking into a waste paper basket where other people see the difficulty level as dunking on a basket. You see, maximum pain is where you practice dunking on a 10-foot rim. You practice dunking, and the better you get at dunking, the rim seems to lower and lower because you seem to jump higher and higher. Most people watch a basketball game and say, oh my God, dunking looks easy. I can quantum dunk. And then they can't even jump 3 inches or even touch 1 foot below the net, even though they're 6 feet tall. And now you realize when we began testing job candidates, they they are in difficulty. So the consequence of selling more shares in GameStop is a guy named Keith Gill, Larry Chiang, and a host of others. We reverse engineered your financial engineering because finance people are all aerospace engineers. But the bosses are not aerospace engineers. This is The Big Short. This is every movie that is in Hollywood about how financial frauds, Bernie Madoff, how they get caught. They always get caught by an engineer. What's the engineer doing? Running the 3 laws of thermodynamics. This is why we're already in the future. This is number 5, an open book test. You see, all this malady, all this calamity, all this rhyming is history repeating. This video aspired to just cover some basics, but after that sentence, malady, calamity, and the other word that I used, that just made this video the best video ever made in the history of videos. Why? Because this is an open book test. This is the United States currency hard restarting into the Bitcoin wave, Web 5. We're going from Web 4 to Web 5. Everyone's fucked. The rich people, fucked. Middle class people have been getting fucked. But here's the opportunity and the truth. You don't need money to make money. Sugar Daddy, day 15, is going to make you go bankrupt. A socialist government offering you free shit, that's going to make the maximum pain even more painful. The Bolshevik Revolution. Someone's going to need to kill 40% of the population. Don't vote for me for president. Don't vote for me for president. Because I didn't have a hard time killing the people that I've killed because they fucking deserved it. But I can't kill random people that are on a spreadsheet, which is why when everything I say is hilarious and understood, I'm not going to dance. Okay, I'm going to dance a little bit. Big Short, hey, don't dance. If we're right, the American economy's fucked. And did you know that for every point in unemployment rise, the mortality rate spikes? Because basically people who are in financial distress, they die fast because there's so much pressure. Oh, is this why you started Duck 9, Larry? To help poor people with their FICO score? Yeah. And there's an element of not frustration, there's an element of pride with some mixed emotions. I can't believe Duck 9 is actually real. There you go. Deeply understanding credit knowledge. Duck 9. Avoid credit code 9, which is a charge off. Duck 9. This is like mushy. Deeply understanding capital knowledge. Why? I'm not selling my company to a fellow Talmudic conniver, engineer, only for you to say, hard pivot, let's start usury against people. You see, I'm Larry Chiang, and maybe this is the first time you've ever met me. I started a company that sold credit cards to get people off of credit cards. Think about how genius that is. Let me repeat what I said because fuck you, 600 plus ways. I did it. I was an undergrad. I'll never not be an undergrad. We dress in the level that which we were most happy. That's why Stanford can't figure me out because I love being a sophomore in college. That's fuck you. I'm going to be happily a sophomore. That's why on the homepage, a 25-year-old who I met when he was 20 or 19 or 18, that's my mentor, Quinn Matthews. People think I mentor. Deeply understanding capital knowledge. I will not sell you my company. I will not sell you anything other than open source jargon that I understand. And am I talking in code? I'm talking in hashtag. Hat tip Chris Messina, my friend who invented the hashtag. Hat tip Chris Messina. You might want to put that in the chat. We got rejected from food camp. What's food camp, Larry? That sounds amazing. Is it food camp? No, food camp. FOO. Is this mentioned in day 4 of hashtag 26 days of OpenAI ducking bankruptcy? Or was it day 3 and day 14? This video, it's amazing, and you're fucking welcome. You're fucking welcome. Your brain's broken. When you talk that way, okay, your brain is broken. Broken brain. Broken brain. 12. A dozen, a dozen, a dozen street smart things. Nothing more street smart than FOO. Chris Messina, chapter 12. Put it in chapter 12 of the book coming out in 2039, Cowboy, Cowboy, Cowboy. Remind me, actually, will you text me your first and last name? Because I don't know them. Street Smart, day 14, day 3, Chris Messina, hashtagging. You're going to no longer be quantum copiuming. You're going to understand this hashtag. This is what we're doing. We're not just relying on the fact that we're the hottest human on the planet, okay? We're not relying on that. This is what we're doing, though, in being street smart. Chris Messina. Chris Messina, me, Larry Chiang, we didn't get into food camp. Friends of O'Reilly. What happens when you join this overtly public society that's hard to get into? Notice I didn't call it a secret society because there are no secret societies. It's always been the fucking library. Chris Messina, hashtag. Deeply understanding capital knowledge, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge. Chris Messina, inventor of the hashtag. You see, you've never used a hashtag to make $800 before. Fuck yourself in the fucking face, okay? Stop listening, go do something else. Just go do something else. If you already made money, you're welcome to continue watching. If you did not do anything, just don't even fuck yourself in the face. Just punch yourself in the vagina or groin or severed penis because you transitioned. I welcome you to my LGBTQ TT plus community. I run the Silicon Valley Gay Mafia from not just an arm's length distance, from 75 billion arm's length distance away, because you don't want to know what I know. I'm trying to unknow what I know. This is what I know that's going to benefit you for having made $800 one time. Chris Messina started a joke franchise. Is this hashtag CHA69? It is. Is this helping Neil, DJ, day 3, day 14? Yeah, because those 2 days connect to Meals Day, February 5, to Meals Day, May 1 through May 3rd, which is what? Which is the joke franchise, Snowball. This is a snowball. We're rolling down a hill, Warren Buffett's book. Oh, but Larry, Snowball only has 64 chapters. I read it. I memorized all 64 chapters. Cool. Cool. That's why you got rich. You mushied. Here are supplemental chapters because Warren Buffett, he retired. Let's make it amazing. Chapter 65, Load and Explode, Columbia. Chapter 69, Chris Messina. You see how once you publish a book, it's going to be outdated. Therefore, you can get paid for the updates. Do you see how easy this is? Would you like the updated version of the Foo book, Friends of O'Reilly, of Aerospike? Would you like the updated version? Because I updated this version on day 14 of the 26 days of OpenAI ducking BK. Would you like the updated version? Oh, would you like the updated version? Eric Rees, Lean Startup. Oh, would you like the updated version? Oh, oops. This updated version of Stanford GSB textbook got updated to be shittier. Are we in maximum pain right now? Oh, yeah. Why? Because version 5 had Irv Grausbeck, the guy who let me in for no money, basically $3. This version sucks. Why? They wholly left out bankruptcy. How are you going to buy and sell companies out of bankruptcy when you get rid of the chapter on bankruptcy? That book started to suck. This is why you mushy, because I mushied back when there was no AI. You get to play mushy on easy mode. Chapter 17, Irv Grausbeck's book. You see how this is an open book test? This test, it's open book. The key is to drop the book hard, not bending a corner. I listened for it. You hear the non-bent corner? Open book test, Chris Messina, you're my mentor. And Chris Messina, my friend. Who's Chris Messina? He invented a hashtag. I think hashtags connect conversations. Maximum pain. Other people are going to go through max pain because they see a hashtag as exclamation point as exclamation point, pay attention to me. Exclamation point, give me attention. So their brain is broken. They just need attention. That's how they're using a hashtag. How are we using a hashtag? Well, you get to continue watching this video because you've already used one hashtag to benefit at an $800 level. Now you're off to the races. Next stop, 600 motherfucking $1,000. Next stop, $600,000. Why? Because it's the 3 laws of thermodynamics. You see, the most powerful number in the universe is something I, with my IQ of 88, discovered. It turns out it's $0. When you get stuck at 0, there is such a gravitational pull where you're going to say the following retarded shit, which is your hashtags sound like a scam. you're going to say retarded shit, which is, I've never used a hashtag. I've been fine up till now. And then you'll say retarded shit. Like, you don't know Chris Messina. He's famous. He invented the hashtag, and you, you're like 28 years old. All you are is just tall and hot and good at sports. That's all you are. You didn't even get into Stanford. You went you only went to the University of Illinois. And you just say retarded shit, where I can then, after you say retarded shit, I baited you into saying retarded shit because this is what my mentor taught me, chapter 13. If people don't short your stock, you're actually fucked. This is why. Three dudes bait the shorts: Tom Brady, Elon Musk, Larry Chiang. Why do you bait the shorts? Why is that chapter 13? You bait the shorts because everyone who shorts your shit is contractually obligated to buy it later. Oh, but Larry, I don't do options. Oh, we're not talking about options. We're talking about sounding like a cunt, which is this. Oh, Tom Brady, he's washed up. You see, he baited you into saying that because he knew that if you shorted him, you're guaranteed to buy it later. Ditto Elon Musk. Ditto Larry Chang. It's the craziest thing. It works literally every time. It's called baiting the shorts. Baiting the shorts. So, good job, Calliope Ferreira, with your joke franchise, hashtag CHA69, Art Basel. Let's create the heart hashtag as we mint you $800 via this number 5 open book test within Maximum Pain, within my video channel, what they don't teach you in school. CS183 Art Basel. I'm wild. I'm loving it. So, December 5 is Saturday. You're fucking welcome. First person to tell me that December 5 is Saturday gets to buy me a $9 gift card to the Four Seasons for a half of a coffee, because I think the coffee there costs $18. First person to tell me what day is December 6th. What day is December 6th? Or no, first person to say December 6th is a Saturday gets to get me a $9 gift card to a coffee in Miami. First person to tell me December 6th is Saturday. And also check. You see, we're using a hashtag lifetime on day, was it 14 or 13? I think it was day 13, which is hilarious on multiple levels. Let's keep going. See, CS183 Art Basel, ART, capital BASEL, it doesn't have Warren Buffett doing a book signing. That's Snowball. So on December 6th, you're going to bring 2 copies of Warren Buffett's book. If you don't make $800, that's because you never emailed or texted me today plus or minus 8 hours. Because at Art Basel, you're doing Warren Buffett's Snowball. Here's your art. I can do this party in 6 minutes. See, 1435 Brickle, you're fucking welcome. And hopefully you're writing this stuff down. If you're not, somebody else steal this franchise, which is my franchise, which is now you got a co-founder from YouTube. You take the shaved ice and you pack it into a snowball. Now you've got Warren Buffett's Snowball Party in Miami. What chapter of Warren Buffett's book? Are you picking one of the 64 chapters to Mushi? You are not. You are doing chapter 65, which is springboarding, chapter 69, which is I listen to Larry Chang, I'm doing a joke franchise. Where is the $800 coming from? You see, financial money people, they're going to say, Warren Buffett, he's retiring. Is Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting going to suck? So on December 6th, you're going to tell people not only is it going to not suck, it's actually going to be the best ever. Why? Because we're going to load and explode May 1 through May 3rd. Where's the load and explode? The people who are taking over the franchise have 20 years of genius shit that are pent up because it's Berkshire Hathaway. That explosion is going to impress people because remember, they were doing Warren and Charlie's work prior. That's what you're doing on December 6th. That's why we're avoiding maximum pain because it doesn't take money to make money. And you not putting down December 6th, Saturday, is you trying to fail at this open book test. Because not only is this open book test with an open book, it's with a very large Chinese guy barking out the answers to the test. Is this test? Is this summary? Is this reading? Do you read this? Do you hear this? Are you asking good questions? Because you're smart enough to put that genius hashtag. Now your brain is paralyzed because you're like, oh my God, this Miami thing, it's actually real. Problem: Art Basel has not enough Warren Buffett. Problem: Art Basel is 13 days of decentralized content. Problem: you've never hosted something and you're probably a troll, and now you're worried that you're going to go from troll to patrol to winning. Let's do 0 to 1 party, which is 11 minutes of Warren Buffett snowball. Where are you going to get a snowball? It's Miami. You're going to take shaved ice and mash it into a snowball. That's your party for 11 minutes. You're connecting December 6th to February 5 to February 6th. December 6th, February 6th, May 1 through May 3rd. Do you see how easy this is? There you go. Right, 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 perfect. Because point number one is quantum. That's so perfect. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Dale. I don't know how I made you moderator. Maybe you're so remedial that I was like, I can work with this because I can work with this. I stopped by this guy's live stream a few times, still haven't figured out what it's all about. Being able to figure out what it's all about is going to take you 270 years because I am rocking an IQ pushing 500. I do dare say it's 488. In order to understand everything, because I am biologically 35 years old, 270 years old mentally, do the math, it's a 900 IQ. I lied low so that way you wouldn't be intimidated. This is what I'm talking about. Is this a rich, quick kind of guy? Is he a rich, quick kind of guy? That's point number one. Now you're understanding ambush questions because you also understand baiting the shorts. Because once you understand ambush and baiting the shorts, I'm baiting you to ask exactly those kind of questions so that way I can say, hello, point number one was quantum copium. What's quantum copium? How am I benefiting from PQRST? You see, quantum copium is people are producing content that gets you to think that quantum is the default. You said quantum, you didn't say quantum, but you were wired to be quantum, which is he a rich, quick kind of guy? When you say rich quick, you're saying quantum because you're poor relatively. You're rich. Actually, you're rich relatively. You're rich, but not getting richer because you're trying to quantum jump from upper middle class to continue to stay in upper middle class. Why? Because today is 26 days of Gemini 3 ducking BK. Yeah, true story. We've been making fun of rich people about to go bankrupt because that's where this whole system is headed. But upper middle class people also have a high likelihood of going bankrupt. Why? That's the part of the cycle. That's Neil Howe. This is the fourth turning. This is Richard's book, The Princes of the Yen. Horrible book title. Prince multiple of the Yen. It sounds like the Princess of the Yen, which is a female gonna be queen, a princess. Princess, a Jap, a Jewish American princess who is Jap princess, which is Jewish American princess of the Yen. What? Actually, because that was a funny joke, that could actually be a sequel book because the Japanese government and the publishing company mitigated one of the chapters, which was the flagship chapter. You could get it if you used AI. We're on day 17 of the 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Yesterday, we forked it to be hashtag 26 days of Gemini 3, period. Why? Because this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is the 3 laws of thermodynamics, which is we're getting 1% better video to video. CS 183 Art Basel. Calliope Ferreira, will you tell Dale Emerson what 3 dates you are using to get rich super painfully? Because we're talking about maximum pain. Oh, you're a little slow. Oh, you're currently doing something else. Cool. Thank you for operating with 2 screens. These are Calliope Ferreira's 3 dates. December 6th, Art Basel, Miami. Address 1435 Brickell. Address December 6th. Get it? I'm calling an NFL play. Your money play. Calliope Ferreira, Larry Chiang. December 6th, 1435 Brickell, 11-minute party. Let's do it 3:30 to 3:41 p.m. Snowball, Chapter 65. Snowball, Chapter 69. Art Basel. Connecting Snowball, December 5 to February 6, Wednesday, San Francisco, to May 1 to May 3rd. Turbo hike? Oh, they're not soft hands. That's are you pansexual? It's quarterback hands, turbo hike. It's Ferreria's plan to get rich actually pretty quickly. Actually pretty quickly because after that 800 bucks, why? In the same way that you said, is this rich quickness? This isn't fast twitch muscle exercising to jump higher. This is load and explode money, realizing it doesn't cost money to make money. It's just using a Chris Messina hashtag. What is a Chris Messina hashtag? What is a Chris Messina hashtag? So in the same way that you are throwing dating offers to date in a Hail Mary, this is the opposite of a Hail Mary. what's a Hail Mary? A Hail Mary is where you're hoping for like a quantum gain in yardage while not understanding that Hail Marys literally never work. If you're trying to cope using Hail Mary strategies, you're now hammering point number one, which is a phrase that I coined on day 17 called quantum copium. Quantum copium, you're quantumly trying to cope. Quantum copium. Nope, it's not. That's incorrect. That's incorrect. Exactly. That's not correct. That's not correct on every level of being not correct. That's correct. That's I'm correct. You're incorrect at every level of that, which is you could have gotten this information from the library. Let me continue with number 5, open book test. Let me continue with number 6, 0 to 1 book. Let me also continue with quantum copium, because you're still trying to quantum, your default quantum copium. And do you see how useful this video is? Let me read what you said, because you're point 1, point 5, point 6. Point number 1, quantum copium. Point number 5, open book test. Point number 6, 0 to 1 hashtag. And that is this. The term is get rich quick. It is a common style of evangelical like financial thinking. That's a pretty good sentence, by the way. Usually accompanied by some sort of course you're trying to sell me, period. So the reason you're eloquently 0 for 3 is these are the reasons that you're 0 for 3. The term get rich quick. Your quantum copium, because quantum is a big ginormous leap up. That would be get rich quick. It's a common style of evangelical financial thinking, usually accompanied by some sort of course you're trying to sell me. So that is number 5, open book test. I'm not setting you up to say this. You're not a setup person, and I'm literally reading from my script. Or even more scary is if I'm not reading from a script, I'm scripting this as I go, which would be even more amazing. But that's why my IQ only seems like it's 488, where it's actually just 88. But I cared enough to prepare. I cared enough to predict questions. I cared enough to read ahead in the book. I cared enough to summarize those points for a 17th time. I cared enough to pass this test, helping you pass this test. Did I come up with PQRST, or did Tom Brady come up with PQRST saying, hey, we've previewed everything. We've already asked ourselves the tough questions. We're going to make the right reads. In summary, we're going to win this test. Tom Brady said that, mic'd up, playing a football game that was similar to a World Series Game 7. I think the NFL calls it the Bowl of Supers, while he played for a pirate-themed mascot. I think it was a swashbuckling Buccaneer. Somehow he changed the logo, the dreamsicle. He changed the logo, and he made himself the logo, which is kind of like Michael Jordan supplanting Jerry West, where you join a pirate themed team and then you're like, I'm the captain of this pirate ship. Ahai. I'm going to change the pirate logo of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with my stupid face, which is pretty good looking, not gonna lie, okay? You are the second best looking person in North America. I can't make it a snowball party. I'm in Canada. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. You suck, and we're going to be awesome. So, Do you see how Dale Emerson? Do you see how it's open book test 0 to 1 hashtag quantum copium in that order? Because there is not a magical paywall that on the other side of the paywall, here's what I would tell you on the other side of the paywall. I would tell you hashtag CS183 Art Basel, December 6th, 1435 Brickell. 1435 Brickell. I'm not even calling an audible. I'm calling the same play, reminding you at the line of scrimmage that I'm not calling an audible. I'm just repeating the same play. CS 183 Art Basel, December 6th, February 6th, May 1 to May 3rd. Why? You see, no one knows what I know, which is I've been behind waiting for two dudes to retire. Okay. I've been waiting for Tom Chiang to retire because that motherfucker, he's never going to retire. Why? Because I don't want him to. Why? Because I like him active. But I understand that Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett wanted to retire. Am I a big Warren Buffett, Charlie Buffett fan? Am I a big Charlie Buffett fan? I'm not. I'm a fan of page 132 of the book because some random Indian dude who was calling me a fraud was like, "Oh, did you steal the stuff from Warren Buffett?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, did you steal the shit from Warren Buffett? Why? Because it's quantum copium. Why? Because maybe I deserved it because I do bait negative attention. No, because the way that you talk about how you got into Stanford is exactly how Warren Buffett got into Columbia. What? Because I knew that who directed the Terminator movie? Who directed Titanic? Who directed those movies? I always forget his name. James Cameron. So James Cameron got into my film school using the Warren Buffett, Larry Chiang, Stanford, and how I got into USC Film School. James Cameron. How? James Cameron was driving a truck, just attending classes at USC. So I'm telling people this is another hashtag, which is what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School. Hashtag WTDSASBS. I'm pooping out $800 like I'm limitless. That was hilarious. 2 is Mushi Mushi Mushi. 3 is you used to have a dream to write a New York Times bestselling book. You used to have a dream to write a book. Now that dream is a nightmare because you can't read a book. That's number 3. Aspirational, I can read 1.0 book a year. Let's be kids again and let's try to write 1.0 book per week. Maybe that's too much because it would be 62 minutes worth of work in 7 days. I know you've never done anything after you've watched a YouTube video. I get it. Write one book in the next 3 years using AI. Learn what wireframe is. Oh, wireframing? That would be Mushi Mushi Mushi, which is I can sketch out and outline 14 chapters ASAP. That's how I memorize chapters. Harry Lorraine. So the reason I can memorize 14 chapters so well is I memorize one set of 14 chapters. And now in every new book, I correlate their chapter 1 with my chapter 1. This is just like cow, pig, tie. When you have to memorize 3 things, you memorize first cow, pig, tie. So if you need to show shoes, so you show a cow wearing shoes. So the cow's wearing shoes, you now say, oh, when I go to Whole Foods, I got to remember shoes. Pig, let's say you need to get butterhead lettuce. So that pig is got to butterhead lettuce. Thai is orchid. So I need to get an orchid for saying thank you to someone who helped me make $2 million. I now need to get an orchid. So it's so it's so it's butter lettuce, a pair of shoes, and an orchid is cow pig Thai. So those three things associate to those three things. This is how to mushi mushi mushi, which is not a course I'm selling. It's not a course I'm selling. It's free shit you get from the library called Moonwalking with Einstein, Josh Foer's book, Moonwalking with Einstein. Let's say that reading a book is impossible for you. Here's a smaller book, Memory Makes Money by Harry Lorraine. And let's say using AI to get book summaries of those two books is too Wi-Fi enabled because you don't have Wi-Fi. I totally understand. I totally understand. You're from a third world country called the United States of America. Number 4, we began testing job candidates. People can't read 10 pages. They can't read 10 minutes. They can't read in an open book test. That's number 4. Number 7, 0 to 1 billion. Forget about that. Number 6, 0 to 1 hashtag. Number 6, 0 to 1 hashtag. What? After the get rich quick comments, you're just gone? Or hopefully you're just quietly listening. Good job. Good job. Good job. Forget about 0 to 1 billion. Just forget about it. But 0 to 1 million, that's on the table. Do you like what I did there? Do you like what I did there? You won't, dude. You won't. It's impossible for you because you're looking for the one thing, your maximum pain incarnate. Exactly. Every time you talk, you undo the work I already did on you. Plus, you can't do Web 0, which is, this is why there is a paywall. It's not a money paywall. It's this. LJ, here's my snail mail email address. There's my snail mail address. It is Larry Chiang, Duck 9, 2021 Midwest Road, Suite 200, Oak Brook, Illinois, 60521. You see, your brain is time preference broken where you've never sent an email and then waited. You've never sent a piece of mail and then, oh, congratulations, you got into college. That's never happened to you before. And now your brain is broken. This will be the first time, which is you're going to send me a thank you card to 2021 Midwest Road, Oak Brook, Illinois, 60521. Because you failed every time, 100% of the times, and that's okay because you entered the video. It's called Maximum Pain. I'm going to ask you for a hashtag, but you don't believe that I know Chris Messina's work, which is a hashtag. You have even given up on calling me a scammer. You're not even at quantum copium. You still are, which is, Larry, help me level up with this video. Because when you say I'm trying to level up, you're not trying to level up one level. You're trying to level up quantum. Be honest. Be honest. You're trying to quantum jump. You're trying to quantum jump, and I'm not going to guess your body fat percentage because I know what your body fat percentage is. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go not 0 to 1 billion. And you're never going to say the word boba again. And you're never going to say, give me $1 million. I'll give you 10% of my boba company. Because one, don't disrespect the fact that I'm not asking you for money. So now you're going to fucking ask me for money. Okay. Okay. But why have you never sent an email? Because that channel's gone. Everyone else, that channel's open. Lawrence.chang@gmail. For you, that channel's done. Obviously, don't text me. It's send me a piece of snail mail. You can even hide your address, but you're going to need to send me a piece of postal mail with your name in the upper left-hand corner. See, this is what's also going on with Maximum Pain is on YouTube, people are using aliases. There's an ethnicity that's constantly trying to hit the reset button on their name. That ethnicity doesn't need to be cited because this video is not antiseptic. But when you constantly are hitting reset on, oh, I'm going to change my name. Oh, I'm going to change my name again. Oh, on Reddit, Twitter, I use this name. And we get away from being honest about where we are with the level and status and stature of our name because we're so worried about somebody writing us a 3-star Yelp review. So forget about number 7. Forget about going 0 to 1 billion. That's no quantum. If you can't go 0 to 1 million using 10 Larry Chiang videos, that means you never made it off of 0 doing $800. So now you're now trying to quantum hire me. You're stuck in quantum, which is this is your quantum leap. This is your quantum effort. This is your quantum copium, which is every time you talk, you're quantum coping, which is Larry, $12 and you can work for me making boba tea, period. You can get you can you get to help the community and get cash while doing it. Do you see how you're trying to drag me down as crabs in a pot? Because I'm not even in a pot. You're trying to pay me $12. I'm trying to only make $28,800 per hour. Look at the math. If you don't make that, you'll never be a billionaire. And you're trying to drag me from 28.8K per hour to doing $12 work. That's quantum copium. That's hilarious on 600 levels that you're trying to whore me out at less than $28,800. This is how this video is making $28,800. I'm going to politely say fuck off to offering me $12 an hour because this is people's quantum copium thinking is if you could just buy a $28,800 lottery ticket for $12, then you would make $28,700 because that's going against the 3 laws of thermodynamics. That's going against 3 laws of thermodynamics. And once you see that the 3 laws of thermo are hilarious, we can now hit point number 8, which is 0 to 1 million, but only for can you read 2 books? 0 to $1 million. 2 hashtags said. You're 1/6 of the way because you aced that hashtag. I'm actually impressed that you aced that hashtag. Put that hashtag, do put in the return area where normally people put their return address. You're writing your NPC name, Leroy Jenkins, and then underneath it, you're not writing Mississippi, Alabama, or South Carolina, Florida. You're not writing that. Arizona. You're not writing that. You're writing hashtag 20. Creepy how I know states so well, right? Creepy. Can't help it. Which is hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. You send that to Larry Chiang Corporation, Duck 9. Address, work address 2021 Midwest Road, Suite 200, second floor, Oak Brook. Oak like the tree, brook like the little river, Illinois, University of Illinois, 60521. So send me snail mail. No thank you to you paying me $12 an hour. What the fuck, dude? There are actually stupid questions. There are actually stupid, retarded questions. No, I won't work for you for $12 an hour in your hole. Okay. No. But I will tell you there are 37 ways to ask better questions. You know the page numbers. You know the page numbers. I am pinning. I'm pinning. Pin, pin, pin. Pin, pin, pin. 2 hashtags. $0 to $1 million. 2 hashtags. Said. Memorized. Mushi, mushi, mushi. That's point number 2, which is, can you memorize a hashtag? You've already memorized one of them. Good job. A plus on a curve. A plus. A plus. 2 things sold. You see, you sell things like trying to sell me on $12 to help you in your boba shop, which is not racist, but it's you trying to sell. That's you trying to sell. That's you trying to sell, which is that's your effort of salesmanship. Is I want to hire you to sell boba for $12 an hour, which is also your level of questioning, which is crabs in a pot, because you're crabs in a pot. You're a crab in a pot pulling a Australian shepherd into the pot, but your little crab arms are alligator arms. And you're thinking as a crab in a pot that you're going to land on the moon quantum leap style. And then you probably even say stuff like the United States never even went to the moon. People who think that going to the moon is possible are lunatics. And then now you're not even in the pot because you're thinking some other quantum thing to cope, which is why flat earth, that sucks people in because, hey, do you want to come live in my pot as another crab in a pot? There's comfort in misery. Why? Because misery loves company. And now you're asking another bad question, which is, can I call you now? And that answer is unequivocally no, because you didn't even write down the address, because that's your brain is, oh, no, 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 no. I want to skip those steps. Larry, you don't understand. I'm quantum. Oh, you told me to do that? Well, I'm going to argue with you because, Larry, what you don't understand is your Bitcoin, it's going to be in danger because quantum. This is also macro. As soon as people are wired to discuss macro, patternize macro, now you understand end stage of fiat, where everyone's forced into evaluating asset prices. Why? Because the money is in massive devaluation. Here's the thing where people are going to go bankrupt. Here's a truth. This is a fortune cookie. This is why it's maximum pain. colon. The more dollars the United States prints, the more a US dollar is worth. What the fuck, Larry? You said you are 3 laws of thermodynamic compliant. Yeah, but here's the thing about thermo that you don't understand that applies to money printing is let's talk about my asshole. It poops out poop and there's a valve that opens. You see, think of my butthole like it's a garden hose where you put your thumb over the garden hose, and what happens to the water? Does it squirt out slower or squirt out faster? Right? Does it squirt out faster? Does it squirt out slower? It squirts out faster, right? It squirts out faster. So, thermodynamics, aerospace engineering. At supersonic speeds, if you put your thumb over it, it comes out slower at supersonic. How does this apply to money printing? When money printing goes supersonic, it's going to need a wider valve. More money you print, the more value it becomes. I don't make up the rules for thermodynamics. I just made up the phrase Web 4. Why? Because fiat's going to strike back. Is this me telling you this with a sparkle in my eye? Yeah, because we're in maximum pain. Imagine how VCs in Silicon Valley felt when I raised a joke fund that was 300 versions of fuck you money. Why? Because I can sit in a lift and make more millionaires than venture capital firms do with one chunk of $400 million. You, LJ, you're my Lyft driver, and I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I've already talked to you. I know everything that you think, and I know the work that you won't do, which is Lyft driver. I'm telling you hashtags that you can self study. I'm telling you a book you can borrow from the library if you don't have $18. Fuck you. I'll even buy you a copy of Dan Olson's book and talk about chapter 11, which is You Are the New Case Study, hashtag CHA11J. That's your second hashtag. Why? Because I don't want to talk to you because you're trying to quantum where I'm trying to grind. You know, you can try to out Christian the Christian who's delivering it, or you can just determine, hey, maybe maybe you should have policed some of that child stuff that your organization was doing in Boston. 3 laws of thermodynamics. Stop policing when you should be policing your own congregation. Cardinal. Cardinal. So, what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring other crabs not in your bucket to reach consensus because you're trying to say, hey, I'm now benefiting from 2 books read, 2 hashtags said, 2 things sold. And then you're saying, hey, will someone else come and agree with me before I do step 1? So that's what you're doing, crabs in a bucket. In fact, that should be your thing. Forget about the boba thing. I used to be a crab in a bucket. This is every mistake that I would make. This is every mistake that I would make as a crab in a bucket. And is it going to be a best-selling book? I'd buy it because chapter 1, you're damned if you do leave the bucket, you're damned if you don't leave the bucket. Chapter 2, there's a treasure of stuff called the library. Kobe Bryant is my N word. The world is my library. Let's manage our treasure and do the first thing that maybe my ethnicity, Chinese people, have never done before, which is read a book and then financially benefited from that book. Crabs in a Pot, Chapter 3. It turns out we don't have to enter a market, a restaurant, a boba shop, a coffee shop with unlimited competition. We can do Lecture 5, CS183B, paste copy some genius shit, which is Crabs in a Pot at Art Basel. I can picture the I can picture I can picture the party at Art Basel, which is LJ standing there on day 6 of hashtag 25 days of Gemini 3 at Art Basel. What did I say? That was a hilarious joke. Do I want to jump on a call? You know what? You know what I will do? Since I'm going to try to not say no, which is why women are taking advantage of the fact that I'm only swiping right if they hit on me. I will do this. I will do a YouTube Q&A, YouTube live, so that way I can record it. Why? Because I don't exactly feel safe about talking in person, because that's your option, which is Q&A. No thank you, and you can't help but try to throw Hail Marys. So that's chapter 6. That's chapter 6 of your book, Crabs in a Pot. I used to be in a crab. This is how I left the pot. Because no, I'm not going to eat lunch with you. I'm having a hard time with you in my YouTube live. And I say that with a twinkle. Here is us, which is, do you want to do Q&A on a YouTube live right now? No, you don't want to throw Hail Marys. That's your old way. That's your old way. Again, I ask, do you want to come on? You can be the third guest on this channel, which is you get to ask questions and everyone else gets to take notes about the fact that you won't write down 2021 Midwest Road. Suite 200, second floor, Duck 9, Oak Brook, Illinois, 60521. You won't write that down. Again, I ask, do you want to come on YouTube Live? 2 things sold. Here are your 2 sales pitches that were quantum sales pitches. Hail Marys thrown not even towards your end zone. There you go. I need time to think about it. There you go. There you go. You're on YouTube Live. That's your entrepreneurship. That's what it is. That's what it is. Kind of like throwing that Hail Mary. Look at the Hail Mary that just got thrown. That's how you make passes. That's how you make passes. That's how you make passes, is willy-nilly throwing Hail Marys. 0 to 1 million. I'm bad at technology. Instead of staying in the pot, why don't you march towards Oak Brook, oak like the tree, brook like the river, Oak Brook, Illinois, 60521. Duck 9, attention, Larry Chiang. And if you don't put a hashtag, someone else will screen it and throw it away because I kind of get a lot of junk mail. I don't even read email if I'm being honest because none of it is any good unless you text me, hey, I sent you email. But you also can't email. So do you see how your channel, your number, chapter 4, the networking mistakes of crabs in a pot. Do you see how AI could write your book for you? Chapter 4, I'm a crab in a pot. These are 15 mistakes I'm making. 1, I say no to YouTube lives. 2, I say no to email. 3, I like time. My time preference is requiring me to stay in a pot permanently. There is no pot. I'm now orchestrating a slavery that has no bars because of prior psychological stress. Some kind of victimhood where you say, "Oh, the the tall Chinese railroad worker, that's why I can't succeed." And people be like, "What? What?" The Chinese railroad, yeah, because you see Chinese railroad workers, they were below slaves. See, slaves were property. You couldn't just kill a slave because that's somebody's property. But a Chinese guy you're paying, you can kill him. And oh well, that's University of Illinois, which is you can fail a person out of the University of Illinois. Nobody is going to blame you. That's just how that game is wired. It's wired for you to play on hard mode. Have you heard where Chinese people, they can't get into college now unless, well, for sure they can't get into Stanford unless you play 2 revenue sports while being 5 diamond and have an Olympic gold medal and have a perfect SAT score and have a GPA of 4.5, preferably 4.6. What happens when that person who's playing 2 5 diamond sports goes to their safety school, Cal, University of Illinois, or Princeton, Penn, some shithole Ivy, New Haven, right? Now they're angry. They're angry AF because they're stuck at University of California, Irvine, and they're angry. They're going to graduate angry. They're going to make money angry. And when they are going to their safety school, University of California, Los Angeles, now they're going to write a $15 million check in their pocket. They're going to stare at it and be like, I'm in this hellhole called University of California, Berkeley, Los Angeles, Cal State, San Luis Obispo, UC Irvine hell, and now you're angry. You're angry AF. You're angry. And then that's what happens. And then you make a Travis Kalanick. That's how you make a Travis Kalanick, which is an angry honorary Asian dude who's making money angry, and he's going to keep on making money even though he's got 17 lifetimes of fuck you money because he can't, he loves the game on hard mode. He loves the game on hard mode. Oh, I wonder if I just explained quantum leaping via flow, shitting out shit that's gold, which I just did. 10, cope, maximum pain. You see, cope only rhymes with hope, but it's just cope. And you don't have to keep doing quantum copium. I this is like this is I'm going to talk to you as the vagina whisperer. I feel that if you go full crab strategy, it would be OP. So not nobody cares about what your feelings are because I care. And your feelings are causing you to go bankrupt. This is day 17 of 26 days of Grok 4 helping LJ duck BK. Do you see how all these days, none of them have benefited you because you're 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 not doing James, the crab leg stealer. What's his name? So for Halloween, he's a Florida State quarterback. He dipped in the draft from the first spot to the third spot because he stole crap. James Winston. So for Halloween this year, he came full circle doing the opposite of quantum copium. He was quantum leaping in flow state, quantum leaping via flow, shitting out shit that's gold. That was number 9. What did James Winston do? He dressed up like he was a crab, returning the crab that he shoplifted. That's James Winston. That's James Winston. That's James Winston. And what he's doing on day 0 of hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK, he did that on day 0, which is he dressed up like a crab. Why? Because he wanted to quantum leaping via flow, shitting out shit that's gold. Because you're in maximum pain, and I'm calling out maximum pain plays because you're trying to do what James Winston's doing, which is excel at being a backup quarterback while excelling at getting attention, Halloween, which is also excelling at, hey, I'm sorry I shoplifted those crab legs. This is me laughing at how I used to be dumb. Expect me to own an NFL team, not quantum ownership, but 1% better where I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention, 1% better. I'm paying attention. Coping, maximum pain. 7 days 17 to days 26 are hashtag 26 days of Gemini 3, period. James Winston. So that's another $800. Why? Because these forks up. Arizona State University, forks up. A fork is where you take a hashtag such as hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. It's forking that to another hashtag that's related. This is Chris Messina, my friend who invented the hashtag 0 to 1 hashtag, because a hashtag is loading and then exploding revenue. How much money did I make going from hashtag 26 days of OpenAI ducking BK to hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK, right? How much money did I make? You saw it. Ditto day 15, hashtag 23 days of OpenAI at SXSW, right? You saw how much money was made there, DJing it to the hashtag 19 days of Grok 3 at Osaka World Fair. Osaka is a country in Japan, obviously a city in Japan. It's got a World Fair. Did you know about it? Well, there are 19 days of it. Larry, what happened on day 23? There's so much gossip about Sugar Daddy. On day 23 of hashtag 23 days of OpenAI at SXSW, I did a joke party called Reverse Sugar Daddy. Why did I do Reverse Sugar Daddy? Because I'm the guy as the number one VC in Silicon Valley. Remember, I can make more money sitting in a lift. Uber. I can make more millionaires sitting in a lift than venture capital firms that have one chunk of $300 million. Why? Because I know the difference between money in and money out. And I know how to use a hashtag. Whereas I would say maybe 60 VCs out of 5,000 know how to use a hashtag. That's not me talking shit. This is just me measuring shit. Enjoy your quantum copium, which is a quantum level of cope, quantum copium. By forking, we're hunting for a problem. By forking, we're in flow, but then we come across something that's ta-da, which is something we can latch onto, like a nipple, which is two girls, one cup of knowledge, which is reverse sugar daddy day 23, connecting to sugar daddy is causing you to go bankrupt day 15, hashtag 23 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. You see, these are jokes, but they're also 100.0% true because Larry Chiang and Shelby Sapp, on a day that I'm forgetting, came up with your sugar daddy is causing you to go bankrupt. Day 54, day 54 of hashtag 23 days of OpenAI at SXSW, day 54. And do you see how I'm mushing these dates where you're like, why do you memorize these things? I memorize these things because I became number one VC in Silicon Valley because layer one venture capital, the calendar, 3 good days are an inflection point. Let me repeat that. There are 4 layers in venture capital. Layer 0, that's LinkedIn. Oh, Larry, are you telling me to use LinkedIn? No, I'm telling you, Web 2, social media, it's broken. Venture capital is LinkedIn. Layer 0, layer 3. Because what's layer 1? It's the calendar. 3 good dates should get you enough working capital to propel you forward. It does not take money to make money. Deeply understanding Chinese knowledge. Quantum pitching via a Hail Mary right on cue is Saeed, which is throwing a Hail Mary. See, that's how he's trying to get distribution, is just throwing random sales pitches. That's chapter 6, crabs in a pot, LJ. That's the opposite of layer 1, venture capital. 3 good dates. December 6th, February 6th, May 1 through May 3rd. That's layer 1 VC. Reverse VC, which was March 7, day 7, hashtag 23 days of OpenAI at SXSW. By taking reverse VC, we're using it to load and explode into sub franchises because reverse VC in and of itself is a franchise that was forked from David Weekley Reverse Job Fair. And do you see how I'm play calling not quantum steps? I'm showing you that billionaires who lie say, oh, I quantum leaped, where I gained notoriety by saying, forget about 0 to 1 billion, because Peter Thiel and Blake Master, they never explained 0 to 1. They never explained it 0 to 1. And I'm not buying that JD Vance is his real name. How pansexual, neurodivergent am I in reverse engineering 0 to 1? That's 0 to 1 million. That's CS 183 Art Basel. 183, like the class number that Peter Thiel forgot. And then his situationship, pansexual neurodivergent, taught it again, CS 183B. I then said, I bet C's going to suck because someone was too busy on Epstein Island to come up with a syllabus. Are these jokes, folks? Yeah, but it's also hilarious because I knew C was going to suck. And it did. Blitzscaling. It sucked. Reid Hoffman, little too much time on Epstein Island. How could you not know that that's what you were getting railed into? Pun intended. Which is D. Who taught CS183D via 60,000 schizophrenic posts? That would be not schizophrenic. That would be not quantum copium. That would be number 2 of maximum pain. Mushi, 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 CS183D. What's mushi, mushi, mushi? It's memorize right, where I memorized a future question. Who's going to teach distribution, Stanford Engineering, CS183D? Because I wasn't going to teach C. I was lucky that I guessed C was going to be a shit show. Enter Epstein Island attendee, not alleged. So it goes pansexual, 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 and then heterosexual who ran alpha into the Silicon Valley gay mafia, asking some pretty straightforward questions with some pretty quantum awesome results. Quantum awesome, true story, Silicon Valley gay mafia, Larry Chiang running that shit as a hetero, which is, I do know who's going to teach CS23D, is I open sourced it as a spec class because point number 2, Mushi, 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 Mooshie, comma, Muexie, and Mooshey. DD, good job. Looking for your thing to pin. The highlight of this video is some rando offering to pay me $12. I almost said 28K. That's an all-time, I never want to talk to you ever. And then insisting, oh, it's 12 real dollars. There's no way that that's your real name. Actually, it is. Actually, it is possible. This is also amazing. Larry, you're funny. It's Youre funny. If you knew me, you'd be impressed. Oh, I know you. And I'm positive I'm not impressed. I'm positive I'm not impressed. And plus, why do you even care? You care because it's hero worship. You care because it's hero worship. And we're not here to be heroes. We're here to do not quantum. We're not here to do Hail Marys. We're here to do incredibly specific things that show me that you have a map. If you really need to text me, don't text me. But if you really need to, text me a picture of your map. And I know this is where women are like, oh, yeah, I'm going to send you a boob selfie. That's my map. Rude. And also, you have very nice boobs. They're very nice, which is which is map using hashtags, because talking this through, that's web 2. Look at LinkedIn. It's some broken social media that's horrible venture capital. Whereas 3 dates and then you incorporate a stuffed animal, which is later to VC, is you slap a stuffed animal on it and then you make it slay. Bumble stock, it's in the shitter. I realize it. But when it's a little bit more shitty, maybe we'll do another turnaround. 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 Maybe we won't.